Hello and welcome to Azur Lane Meta. Today we're going to be doing a video on clearing EX modes for Swirling Cherry Blossoms. Welcome back, guys. Today we are going to be doing a video of watching me clear an EX mode and then going through the fleet that I used. Yes, Swirling Cherry Blossoms is over. So if you wanted to use this video to kind of like set up for the Swirling Cherry Blossoms EX mode, that's not super relevant, but maybe there'll be a rerun and it'll be kind of important. So EX modes are kind of like challenge modes, but specific for an event. So the next event might have an EX mode. And there you get nothing for EX modes, so not a lot of people try to go for EX modes because you just don't get any benefits from them, and they're pretty challenging, so a lot of people just don't have the fleets to be able to clear them. To put it into perspective, on the latest EX mode, last when I checked here, for the top 100 scores for the Swirling Cherry Blossoms on the server, only 83 people had even finished it. So even if you had just completed EX mode, then you got on the leaderboard. Part of that is the fact that it is very difficult, and part of that is the fact that some of the players just don't try. But EX modes are a great endgame content for people who are looking for a challenge, and so we're going to go through one and show that it is possible to do it. Obviously, with that little clip there, it was a spoiler that we did do it, but also it's probably a spoiler that I'm posting this video that I did it. And those of you who are on the Discord know that I did it as well. So yeah, join the Discord. So before I go any further, I just want to make a few disclaimers. The first being that I am a PvP focused player, and PvP ships are not always good in PvE. So they're very different beasts to tackle, so I might not always have the best ships for them. Second of all, I was feeling kind of sick last week, and I was just not trying to go for rank. I was just trying to complete the EX mode. So some of my equipment that I use is not the top optimal choices. Some of the ships I used are not the top optimal choices, but they are good enough to get the job done. I also was not trying for top rank at EX mode. If you do that, cheat. No, I'm kidding. Don't cheat. Definitely don't cheat, or you'll get on this bad naughty list that Azur Lane sends out all the time, and you'll get banned. So don't cheat. But if you want to know more optimal things, you can join the Discord and ask questions, and I can tell you what's more optimal. But for last week, I was feeling sick. I wasn't going for top rank. I wasn't trying to level up my ships to get to a certain like top tier thing. I just tried to do the bare minimum of what I could do. Also, I was in the middle of battling for PvP and for doing EX modes, so I was kind of lazy about switching equipments. So like certain equipments just didn't get switched over when the fleet got switched over. So just keep that in mind as we're going through this. This is more of a quick build of what I used to play and not what you should optimally play. So one thing I want to note as we look at this fleet, EX modes do not deal damage to your back row, and the enemy has infinite accuracy, meaning that evasion is useless. So all evasion tanks are pretty much null and void. Yukikaze is usable because her skill is not affected, but she's not even great for EX modes in general. And so the backline, you're just focusing generally on damage. You could also throw in Unicorn because your front line is going to take a ton of damage and they can't dodge anything. So you're not dodging anything and you're taking a lot of damage. You want tanks and you want shields. That's the best things that you can get. In the back row, you want damage or heals. So I went with damage focused here, just trying to fly through, just get as much damage on there. And that is the main fleet. The Warspite Nagato Amagi fleet is the most damage that you can get pretty much in a fleet without using Frederick de Grosse. So that's what I went with. You could throw in a Unicorn in there and that would be decent. There are plenty of other things you can do. Any good damage dealing ships work here. in the front, like I said, so we're not playing Yukikaze, we're not playing any of the evasion tanks, which is typically what you want to play for PvP and definitely my preferred play style. So we had to kind of change it up a little bit. So Zara is a great ship for EX modes and for challenge modes. But note, we're playing St. Louis here. Rune would be a better option than St. Louis. So Rune is better than St. Louis in PvE. St. Louis is better than Rune in PvP. But I don't have my Rune fully leveled, so we're just going to go with my St. Louis. And Zara is basically going to do the same thing. She's a little weaker than Rune, but she basically does the same thing. And we are playing Juno because I mean, if I was going for the S rank, top rank, I couldn't play Juno. I'd have to go play probably Rune and then something else, right? But I was just trying to get it done. This was not an easy EX mode either, and I am not the most pro at manually controlling my ships. So we're just going to go for the clear, and Juno is like a crutch. So Juno's a crutch for clearing EX modes, and we're going to use her just like we're going to use Pearl Tears for this crutch. We're just trying to finish. We're not trying to get S mode. So if we go in, we'll briefly look through all this stuff. It should be pretty simple. So here we have Warspite. This is built no differently than the PvP Warspite that we've been using. Still using the HG gun. And yeah, Black Shell because she's got great accuracy and luck. Yeah, we're not even going to be taking any damage, so losing the evasion's not too much different. Amagi is pretty much built the same as always. And Nagato, we're going to put a Black Shell on her as well, like I said, for that extra damage. The front row, we have St. Louis. Arguably, that quad gold torpedoes should be Quinn rainbow torpedoes. Like I said, we take off all of the evasion auxiliaries here. That's, I guess, the big notice here, because evasion's useless, and we just put on buffs. And also, EX modes are long enough where repair toolkits start to make a difference on their heal. Zara, we put the Pearl Tears on her because she's going to die before our St. Louis. Yeah, pretty standard for her. She's our shield tank. And then Juno built the same. We haven't touched Juno since, when we did it for PvP, so that should all be the same. So I'm going to commentate over the clear here. Just kind of go with like what's going on, maybe walk you through some of the damage that Noshiro is going to be doing in this EX mode. It's obviously 120. That right there, that is the most deadly. Those AP shots there, that is her most deadly attack. You're not dodging them. And right here, you're going to be locked in here. And it's not too bad to dodge and just kind of get in those lanes and dodge them. But a lot of times afterwards, she strikes you with that blue strike that I was just mentioning earlier. Those little flurry things that look like flower petals, they don't deal a lot of damage, but they break shields. And they're almost like on that second wave, they're almost impossible to dodge. Those torpedoes generally are not too hard to dodge. But they do deal a lot of damage. Once again, that blue AP shots are so damaging and they're so fast. You have to literally be moving to avoid them. So at this point, we're just hiding in there, and then she strikes you and you can't move. You're just going to take that hit, and hopefully you have a shield up. So after the Warspite here, we're pretty much about halfway done, and we've only lost Juno. Here we're just hiding down here, continuing to move. There's the flower blossoms. That general thing that goes across the middle, the strike with the yellow shots, that's not too bad to dodge, nor does it deal a lot of damage. And in that blue one, you're trying to get in that little corner where there's a little gap. There, see, all those torpedoes missed. Those are easy. And yeah, Divine Marksman, that helps. Noshiro is a light cruiser, so, play your effectiveness like that. If you sit in that like Sakura Empire circle there, you're going to get debuffed, so avoid that when possible, but it's not the end of the world if you cross through it. And now Zara goes. She had the Pearl Tears on her, so we got one ship left. We got 8 left, so I really just need to get through one more strike here. And Warspite, and then this should do it with Amagi, as fitting. Should be. Amagi with her barrage finishes it. And that's how you clear an EX mode, guys. Thank you guys for watching. For those of you on my Discord channel who wanted to see this, I hope you enjoyed it. For those of you on YouTube who are just passing by, I hope you enjoyed it as well. And if you did, please join my Discord server and subscribe to my channel.